All right, welcome back to episode 269 of the Guy and Guns podcast. I'm your host, Troy.
And I'm your other host, Doug.
We use this podcast to talk about guns, the responsible Christian gun owner's interest. Join us on this episode as we talk about being safe.
Being
What does that mean?
safe.
What does that mean, Doug, being safe?
It's going to mean a lot of different things.
All right. Well, think of bandwidth sponsor Oath Keepers TV and also
Crossbreed holsters. Hey, you've heard us talk about if you're carrying a gun, hey, you need to be carrying a crossbreed. Most comfortable holster you can get. Check our buddies out at crossbreedholsters.com. Carry the cross. Also, PowerTac lights. Hey, if you want a bright light, go check our buddies out at PowerTac. They got a light for you, law enforcement, military, just the outdoors guy. Whatever you want, PowerTac has a light. Check them out, powertac.com.
good deal. We thank Oath Keepers TV for playing us live on their channels over there, and they can also watch at their convenience on Roku and Apple TV and all those different sites. So, Doug, what's been up with your guiding gun activities this week?
Well, let's see. On the God side, of course, I've been doing my Sportsman's Daily Devotional every day, and went to online church again Sunday, the 31st. I think it's the 31st. Yeah, it's Sunday, right?
Yep.
Our church is going to be having church in the sanctuary again, so they're opening that back up. So we're looking forward to that. Get back in church where you can actually see folks and talk to them and fist bump, elbow bump, shake hands, whatever you can do. I'm still a handshaker, man. I'm sorry. Just the way I am.
I'm just a hugger.
I can do that too. See, on the gun side, of course, I've been doing my everyday carry. Always got that stuff with me.
Yep.
This past weekend, I spent the weekend down in Savannah with some buddies doing some hog hunting. And that's where part of tonight's lesson is going to come from, about safety first. So we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get into that one. While we're down there, I helped a couple guys get some rifles sighted in, and they were having a little trouble dialing in. So I showed them they were younger guys, so I showed them some old tricks of the trade on how to get something zeroed in on paper quickly. So it was a good time, man. We had a blast.
Good deal. So that's got everything, man. You zipped through that.
That's me, man. Other than pig hunting, which we'll talk about a little bit later, that's about all I've done other than work.
Gotcha. All right. So my stuff, of course, with daily Bible reading, like you watch the online sermon. Our church is going to be opened up this Sunday as well. We had a meeting last night at church about how we're going to let people come in and what kind of protocols we're going to have in place and how we're going to just make it work. And of course, there's no nurseries, no Sunday school, small groups, stuff like that. But we're going to try to make it work. They're trying to abide by the Landy's rules up here. I am not happy about it, but
I think that's what we got to do too. No nursery, no children's church, that kind of stuff.
If anybody goes to the bathroom, they got to go in and clean it between each family or between each individual. It's whatever the CDC rules, which the CDC came out last week and said that it doesn't transferable off of surfaces. The CDC said that. So why we got to go around and spray everything down with bleach and stuff if it doesn't transfer off of hard surfaces? It doesn't make any sense. If it falls on the hard surface and you don't pick it up from your skin and does it transfer back into your whatever, why are we having to go through these things? I think there's something else going on there, but that's just me. We do the prayer and fasting morning shows. We just finished. I finished. Well, tomorrow will be the end of the 7th week that I've done it. Every day except for one so far. Well, I didn't do it on Memorial Day, but been doing that every morning. A little short devotional. This week, today is a little bit long because I got long-winded, but short prayer and just people have prayer requests, things like that. So if you've not caught one of those, you can watch them on replay on YouTube or on Facebook. Um,
I was close. I was close today to getting to catch it,
oh, is
and
it?
I brought it up on my phone, and I got a call,
Oh no.
and I was like, I almost can't even try it at work.
I understand. I understand. I've been hitting different times to see where I can catch the most people at, and it just like it's hard to say. I mean, it shows like 30 to 45 views on the while it's live, and then it shows more views later. But I don't get that much participation in it, so I don't know. I don't know how that all that works, but we just keep plugging away at. This is I'm fasting again today. I've been fasting every Monday and every Thursday since the beginning, and so I just drink water and I drink coffee without any sugar or anything, just coffee or tea without any kind of sweeteners. There's no calories in anything I'm taking in. And it's been going well. I'm feeling better. My belt's getting smaller and smaller, or getting fewer and fewer holes left in it. I've got one hole left in this new belt that Crossbreed sent me. So, and I was like, it couldn't get into the thing about about 2 3 months ago. I was just getting into it. Now I'm down to about two holes left in it.
There you go.
So it's coming off my waist pretty good, but just a lot of clarity and reading a lot. I was reading a new book on the God side. I started reading it last night, and I'm already into like chapter 14. Um, and the book is called How God Answers Prayer, and it's by Elmer L. Towns, Towns. And it's a great book. I got two more of his books to read when I get done with this one. So that was pretty much God stuff on the EDC, on Gunside EDC. Of course, everyday carry. I carry the bunker buddy with me all the time. You guys might have saw I had I had a double feed. Man, I hate double feeds because they're so hard to clear. Had that was it yesterday or the day before? We had some stray dogs show. I guess it's 2 days ago. Some stray dogs showed up, and I went out and racked around in and looked down, and the bolt wasn't closed. And I looked, and there's two bullets fed into the chamber, one underneath the other one. So I don't. Everybody's got different ideas about it, but the best opinion I've heard so far is it's probably a magazine issue, that the spring is weak, or maybe the follower wasn't able to hold the shell like it should. But I had 28 rounds in it. I didn't have it overloaded or anything, so I don't know. Strange stuff. But I've been cleaning and depriming brass, getting stuff ready for reloading. I got some things in. I got some buckshot in. I think I don't know. Did I tell you Wally's stuff came in? Was that last week, or is it? I guess it's been since our last show.
Oh, you got some stuff in.
Yeah, Wally sent me a care package with some 30 cal rounds and some 22. It was some .224 rounds for my 5.56 loads, and I got in some more primers. And he sent me a whole bunch of shotgun hulls and a bunch of shotgun shell boxes, which is handy because I've got this little tray, you drop the shells in, and you just take the box, slide it over, you just load the box just like factory, and you got your loads in there for buckshot. Oh. I got double aught buck came in. I've got my mold and my handles for 525 grain slugs, so I can pour my own slugs. And so I'm getting ready to start making some bullets and making some slugs. And I did inventory, and I found out I've got like 55 pounds of gunpowder.
Oh, jeez.
Unfortunately, most of it's in pistol, and not a whole lot. I've got some rifle, but it's mostly for my 25-06 and 308. Some of the 308 work for 223 or 5.56, but some of the powders I'm wanting to use are just they're unattainable. They're just people have bought it up, and for as far and long as I could say. I did happen to make contact with a friend of mine who owns a gun store, and he had a whole bunch of powder back there that he wasn't using, and so I'm going to be able to get some of that stuff this week. So that's exciting. He's got quite a few bullets too, and so I'm enjoying reloading. This has been a lot of fun. It's sort of like ham radio, you learn a new skill, and you could just chase so many different rabbit holes with reloading, and so many different things with like with ham radio as well. There's so many different aspects of that of those two hobbies, I guess you could say, or skill sets or whatever. I'm really enjoying that. I got in a reloading book. Our buddy over at Mike Eisler, our buddy over at Reloading Podcast, I hit him up and said, "Hey, what's the best bullet to get about casting bullets?" He goes, "Cast bullet handbook, Lyman." He said that's a great one to get. And the odd thing was, it was like, I don't know, it was like 11, 12 o'clock at night. And I flipped over on Amazon and popped down and just put my buy now thing. It showed up the next day. I don't know how it did. It came by U.S. mail. It wasn't like it came FedEx or something. It came U.S. mail. It was here the next day. I don't know what's going on, but that's crazy. But that was strange stuff. Found a load data for some 12 gauge mini shells. The little short shells.
Mm-hmm.
So I found some for that because I've got several holes that the ends are messed up. So I could trim those holes up and then use them for the short shells. And so that's pretty cool. So that's pretty much my guiding gun stuff for the week. I've been pretty busy. We've been working on the garden. Today I spent most of the day working on lawnmowers, and we've got a golf cart that has 8 6-volt batteries in it. And Gunner and I, mostly Gunner, took them apart and packed them out. Those batteries are heavy.
Yeah, they are.
Man, they're like that. They're huge. And I pulled one. He was carrying them over the truck. I was going to take them up. We're going to change them for a new set. And I reached down and grabbed a whole one in each hand and stood up. And I was like deadlifting, man. I was like, what the heck? These things are like 126 pounds a piece. I was wondering why he was grunting and struggling so much to get him out. How much they weighed. I was like, well, no wonder. Poor boy, he's about to pull his back out trying to do this. What's your EDC today, Doug? What are you carrying?
Oh, I got the usual suspect, man. Glock 19 with my student of the gun night vision sights on it. And I got, normally I carry Puff 2.0 every day with me.
Yeah.
But I don't have him out here in the garage with me tonight. He's in the house in the air conditioning cooling out.
Look who showed up. Look at there.
Yeah.
So you can't talk about stuff that you don't want to find out about now, Doug.
I know, right?
All those layaway guns and stuff. You're gonna have to be shh.
Yeah, believe it or not, I don't have anything on layaway right now.
There's one I'd like to put on layaway, but I'd end up buying it.
Right.
Oh well. My carry is the Glock 30S. It's a little dusty and grimy. I'm not going to whip it out here because she's hot and ready to rock. But my Glock 30S, you guys have seen it hundreds of times. And the Super Tuck. And I've been carrying the little XDS 45 some this last week. And yesterday I was carrying the XDS 45 in my right pocket and the Ruger SP 101 in my left pocket. Night visions. Uh-oh. She knows something.
Thermal, honey. Thermal.
Oh, well, yeah. If you got that kind of money.
Yeah. It was funny. We were down in Florida, 2 weekends ago, and we stopped at a gun shop down there. Mm-hmm. Big shocker. I found a new one, and they actually had some pretty cool stuff. And I'm like, oh, come here. I said, look at this. This is what I want. Mm-hmm. And she's like, what is it? I said, it's a thermal. So I turned it on. I'm sitting there. The guy let me mess with it. So there were some customers at the other end of the store. I'm like, hey, I said, check them out. Look at them through this thermal. And she's like, hey, that is pretty cool. She's like, how much is it? I said, that one just happened to be $3,700. So just happened to be.
That's like the starting line for most thermals, $3,000 and change.
Hey, but it was the nice one though. It was the ATN Thor 4 640 by 480. So the resolution on it was really, really good.
Yeah. I've had one of those on my bucket list for a long time. I just can't chunk the change right now.
No, I can't either. I have one.
living on retirement income. We us pensioners, man, we ain't got a lot to play with.
We need a thermal sponsor.
Yeah, yeah. We need some thermal angels. Send us some good stuff.
Yeah. Donate a thermal scope, and I'll take you on a hog hunt.
Or 6.
Or 6. Yeah.
Or 20.
Take anytime you want to go. How about that?
Yeah. I'll pay gas.
I'll even pay the hotel bill.
Oh, wow. You hunt them at hotels?
No, but I can tell you after this past weekend, them boys wanted to camp.
Yeah.
And I had no intention of camping. We hunted all night, in and out, and come up. And then when it got hot during the day, I didn't get a hotel room. I hung with it and stuck with them. And you couldn't even get in a tent and go to sleep and get no relief. I went and got in my truck and started the truck, turned the air conditioner on, and took a nap. I was like, man, I can't take it. It's too hot.
Oh, you went south of where you live, didn't you?
Oh, I went to Savannah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you got all the heat and water, all that stuff, moisture, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's
hot,
bad.
humid,
sticky.
It was way sticky.
You're probably sweating so much you don't actually stink because it's just running off you like a waterfall.
That's a myth. We were smelling pretty rough. It was hot.
Yeah. It's better than cold and damp.
I got winded. I was after this big hog, and I got winded. He came in. I saw him coming, and I heard him coming. He come through a water hole, and the wind was perfect. It was blowing in my face, blowing to my back. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better setup.
Yeah.
And this big joker come in. I kid you not, Troy, that joker was pushing 300 pounds. If he was an ounce, he was a big boy. And he come in and he stopped short of where I could get the night vision on him to shoot him. And he was in some palmettos stuff, and I couldn't see him good enough. So I was just waiting, and that joker started grunting. And then he took, I don't know, 8 or 10 steps forward and stopped and started growling. And you've heard a hog growl, that will make every hair on the back of your neck stand up. And I mean, it's spooky sounding.
Huh. You sure it was a hog?
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah, I shot him. I'm 100% it was a hog.
Oh, okay.
And
I meant the growling part.
Oh no, it was him. Yeah, he was growling. I've had them do it before. Especially big old boars. I've heard them do it, and they almost sound like a bear when they do it.
Oh wow!
But it's just this real deep roar sound, and I mean it's spooky, man.
I ever tell you about making the bear sounds behind on the mission trip out in Montana? We're out there. I don't know. This has been several years ago. This is when Gunner was like 12 or something. It's been, 7 years ago. I was out there, and another mission team came in. We weren't aware they were going to be there from Tennessee, and there was this big black bear coming down the side of the mountain across the river from where our church was at, or where it was a campground was at. And they were just all enthralled. They was all walking down there looking at this big bear coming down through there, just stumbling down through and I was following them back at a distance, and they was like, "Boy, I wonder if he can come over here. I wonder if he's gonna come over here. How far we should go?" And stuff. And I was just listening to him. I stopped. Now, what? This sound, and it sounded dead up like a bear growling. And I did it full force, it's a deep gurgle sound, and you can see them all just free. They all just tightened up. They turned real slow and looked. It's like, man, he scared us to death. We did the same thing. The kids were there was an Indian family camp, and so the families from different reservations came there, and we had like a Bible school. Or like a what do you call it? A vacation Bible school at this campground, and so all the families came there, and so we took the kids to go swimming up the river where there's a big hole that the river wasn't moving so fast. The water is still just above freezing because of snow melt. These
Right.
kids jumped right in there. They didn't care. They jumped right in. Was in there swimming. So we told them, "Come on, let's leave." And they was him hauling around like they didn't want to. They was just dragging their feet, walking back. And so Gunner and I were in the lead. And so I went up. There's this little rock. I don't know, a little hole back in the inside this bank. There's just rocks and trees and stuff. I said, let's see if we can scare these kids. And so we went up in the woods there, and there was a dead pine tree laying there. I don't know, about 12 feet tall or something like that. I stood it up. I said, Gunner, hold this. And he said, what? I said, whenever I tell you, drop it off the side of this bank, and I'm gonna holler. I'm gonna make a bear sound. He goes, what? I said, just do it. So he's quiet. They walked past. Of course, we were up behind. They couldn't see us because we was up in behind this rock, behind that tree. And I said, all right, drop it. And that tree goes off there, comes crashing down. I don't know. And all you saw was feet and flip-flops flying in there. They didn't look back. They was at a quarter mile down the road before they realized they didn't have no shoes on.
Getting out of town.
I'm bad. Oh, well. We got us a joke?
We do got a joke. In honor of Chris, I brought back the blonde jokes tonight.
She'll appreciate that so much.
Yeah. So tonight's joke is there was a blonde, a redhead, and a brunette. They were all trapped on an island, and the nearest shore was 50 miles away. The redhead decided wanted to swim, trying to make it to the other shore. She swam 15 miles, drowned, and died. The brunette swam 24 miles, and she drowned and died. The blonde swam 25 miles, got tired, and decided to swim back. And she made it. She made it.
I thought sharks always ate blonde girls that were swimming in the ocean.
Dude, did you see that? Did you see the news the other night with?
I don't watch news.
Well, this was kind of other news. I saw it on the internet or something. But the guys they were in the Gulf off of Orange Beach, out in Alabama, and they were spearfishing for jack. I think it's what they said they were after. Yeah, jack. One of them had one on amberjack. Yeah, amberjack. And they had one on a stringer that was, I mean, he was pretty good size. And then one guy, he looks out in the water, and the visibility is not real great, but it was good enough. But there was a great white in the Gulf swimming with them, following them around when they were spearfishing. Boy, he started tapping on the tank and hollering his mouthpiece and stuff, getting his buddy's attention. And they hightailed and got back on the boat.
I imagine so. Great whites in the Gulf, huh?
Great white in the Gulf off the coast of Alabama.
Well, they had great white go up a river there in New York, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
That's rough stuff there.
Mm.
All right, so Bible verse for the week, coming from Proverbs 29, verse 25, and it says, "The fear of man lays a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is safe." So the translation of that, or to put that in more of a modern version, is that whoever fears of men will be caught, but whoever trusts in God or trusts in the Lord is going to be safe. So there you go. Don't trust men.
Don't trust men.
Don't be afraid of men, and trust God and be safe. All right, our main topic tonight, safety. Tell us all about this, Doug.
Safety first. So I got a couple things to talk about as far as safety goes. When you're hunting, when you're on the range, whatever you're doing, you need to always pay attention to your surroundings. So I was talking about that pig that I shot the other night. Mm-hmm. So it swung around, came around me, and got back out in front of me, and I shot it. And I watched it take off, and it ran through like a deadfall tree
Mm-hmm.
and went out the other side, and I couldn't see it anymore. So couldn't tell where it's at. So I'm texting my buddies. I'm like, hey, I said, I just shot that big one. And, but he's not dead. He ran on me. First thing they're doing is like, hey, don't go after him. Wait till somebody gets down there. Of course, I'm hard headed. I'm not going to do that because, I'm carrying the Glock and I'm carrying an AR. So I feel like you're the baddest dude in the woods. So anyway, you hunt this time of the year, you got to follow some safety rules, man. I wear snake boots and we spray down with bug repellent because, you get ticks on you that bite and get attached, and you got Rocky Mountain spotted fever and
Lyme disease.
Lyme disease and all this other stuff that you could get. So, we're sprayed down with permethrin, taking safety precautions, trying to stay safe. So I get down out of the stand, and I decided to go look for this hog. So I went to the last place I seen him, and I'm going to tell you, dude, I am hunting in God's country, and it's swamp. It's just straight up swamp. So I get down there, I go to where I saw the hog the last spot, and I couldn't get through the tree. He went underneath one of the big limbs that was down. He went under it, and I knew where he went. So I walked around the tree, got on the backside, and I found a little bit of blood. So I knew he was hit. So I'm easing up through the woods. I probably get, 75 yards past that tree, and he was 50 yards when I shot him, ran 25 and disappeared. So I'm probably 150, 175 yards away from the tree stand. And none of my buddies know where I'm at because we had hardly any cell phone service. But I like that app. I don't know if anybody ever uses it, but there's an app called OnX, and you can go out and get it. It's GPS for mapping that goes on your phone. You can mark your spots, you can mark waypoints and stuff, and you can do it as you're going. You can also download pictures of the map, and that way you can have that on your phone, and it stays constant in case you don't got a good signal, but you can still see through the GPS on your phone where you're at.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing to do. So I wasn't worried about getting lost, but I eased up in the woods, and I'm looking for this pig, and I'm in some grassy areas. It's palmetto bushes, and it's just a swamp. And I'm standing there, and I felt something hit the side of my leg, and I was like, what was that? And I just kind of looked down, and I got my PowerTac light on.
Mm-hmm.
There's a plug for our sponsor. I had my PowerTac headlamp on, and I got that bad boy on full power too, so I could see, because I want to see that big joker if he decided he was coming out of there, hurt, coming to get me. And I just happened to look down. When I felt it hit my leg, I just kind of lifted my foot to move, and I was like, I saw about that much of a snake's tail.
Oh, wow.
Shoot up into the woods. So I actually got struck by a snake, but thank goodness, safety first.
Yeah.
I had my snake boots on. I don't wear Crocs, and I don't wear little tennis shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I wear boots because I don't like snakes. Everybody that listens to this show, or if anybody knows me, knows I do not like snakes. And I've told stories on the show before about how much I love them. But and if you know me, I do not care about a snake if I don't see one. I don't think about it. I don't pay no attention to it, but I wear my snake boots. But as soon as I see one, I am done, because every pine tree limb, grapevine, stick on the bottom of the wood that I step on, everything from that point is a snake, and I'm just done. I am done with it.
Look here what Wendy says. Faith over fear, Doug.
Yeah, well, she put that Bible verse a minute ago. But that's true, though. That's true.
I was aggravated.
There's Jim just jumped on. Hey, Jim, what's going on?
Yeah.
So I was done. I was heading back. I got up where the stand was. I was heading toward the truck, and one of my buddies like, "Come get me. I'll come help you look." I'm like, I'm done. I ain't looking no more. That's it for me, buddy. So we go back to the truck, and I'm kind of glad that I quit looking a little bit, because we're out there in the dark. If I'd have shot him and dropped him dead where he was at, it was a kind of an open area, that would have been one thing. But the next morning, we got the reason we knew there was a hog down in there to start with is we had a spy point camera set up. My buddy Andy had his camera system set up, and he had just put that camera in that night before I got there on Friday, and it took a picture of that big old hog coming in. So we knew he was there. So the next morning, how about he gets a picture on his camera after I'd been down in there looking for that hog? It's probably a good 10-foot gator on the camera standing right where the hog was standing. I guess he can't. I guess he smelled the blood from the
Mm,
hog and decided he was coming in for,
eating.
get a quick bite to eat. And I told my wife, I said, as bad as I hate snakes, I'm glad I stepped on the snake and not that gator, thinking he was a log or something laying there when I went to step over him, because he'd have sure enough got you. So
Yeah.
if you're going to be in the woods, safety. Make sure somebody knows where you're at. Make sure you tell them if you get down out of your stand and you go traipsing around, make sure they know which way you're headed. Let somebody know. I hunt by myself probably, I don't know, 80% of the time, and I'm by myself. But I always make sure my wife knows where I'm at, or I make sure my son-in-law knows where I'm at, or one of my buddies. If we're out together by chance, I always make sure somebody knows where you're at in case something happens. Because my buddy Andy was out, and we were sitting there, and it was early in the morning. He still hadn't come back yet. And we were beginning to think he wasn't answering text messages. He wasn't answering his phone. We were starting to get a little worried, and we were getting ready to go start looking for him. We knew where he was at, but we didn't know, where he could be if he wasn't sitting on the stand. But luckily, he came out. He had shot a hog, and he just didn't have any cell service. So, but we knew where he was at. Safety first.
Yeah, when you're out in the woods like that, do you good to have some GMRS radios or something so that you can keep in touch with each other?
Exactly. And we discussed that the other day, about having some radios that we could actually talk on the club with, and
Yeah.
that way if you shoot something, you need to get it out of the woods, especially when it's hot out like this. If somebody takes you and drops you off, which it rained on us down there too, so I was running around in my truck because I had a 4-wheel drive and I could get around pretty, with no problem. But a couple of the 2-wheel drives, they didn't get out when it was the wettest, but later on it dried out a little bit. It's sandy down there, so they didn't have any problem after that. But that's a good thing. But second thing, we got up on the range shooting, and a couple of guys had scopes. They needed to get sight in, new rifles. One of them was a Palmetto State Armory, so he got him a new rifle, and he put a Vortex strike fire on it, and they were trying to get it sighted in. So we got it sighted in. What's that one that you got on yours? That red dot one?
EOTech?
No, not the EOTech. Is it a Hollow Sun?
I've got a Hollow Sun on Daphne's, and I've got a Sig Romeo on mine.
Hollow Sun. He had a Hollow Sun.
Yeah.
On an AR pistol that he had built, and he was trying to get that sight in. So we sighted those in. Well, one of my other buddies had gotten a new rifle in 300 Legend, and he was going to sight it in. And this is where the safety thing comes into effect. When you're swapping gun parts, make sure all your gun parts match up. Buffer springs.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure your buffer spring is not overloaded, from what you took it out of. If you're shooting a big caliber gun, don't use that buffer spring in a 223 or something to that effect, because what we found out was we were trying to shoot it, and when you would let the bolt fly forward, it was taking the bullet and pushing it up into the casing on some good ammo. So it's like, what in the world is going on with this thing? Well, then it would have a problem trying to get them out. So luckily we're standing there, everybody's being safe, and the gun is in safety circle. So if you've ever taken a bulwark class, you know what safety circle is.
Yep.
You're not pointing at you, and you're not pointing at nobody else. You got the gun down and in a safe direction. So he's trying to clear a round out of it because he shot and it didn't eject a round. It was hung in there because it expanded the casing. So how it happened, I have no idea. I'm still kind of baffled. But anyway, he grabs it, and when he charged it to get the round out of it, when it came back, he let go of the bolt, and the bolt flies forward. And I don't know if the way it was pointed down and that extra spring that he had in it, when it flew forward, when it went into battery, it cooked a round off right there.
Wow.
Yeah. And finger off the trigger, safety on. And it cooked a round off right there. And it's like, okay, it's time to put that thing back up.
Yeah.
So
sounds like it had a rifle buffer and a pistol tube.
Well, it was a rifle, but the buffer spring that was in it was for a 450 Bushmaster.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
He didn't think about it. He took the lower off of one and put it on the other gun to shoot the 350 Legend. Yeah. And it should have had a 223 buffer spring in it, but it had that beefy one for the 450 Legend. So that thing was slamming,
what a tungsten or something heavy, wasn't
it? Yeah. So it come forward. I was like, okay, that thing's got to go back in the truck, and until we get it figured out what's going on, because
nobody got hurt.
Yeah, nobody got hurt, and it put a good hole in the ground. I mean, we were going to try to dig the bullet out, and we couldn't even find the bottom of the hole.
Wow. And being a swamp,
Yeah, it's sandy down in Savannah, so but it surprised everybody when that joker went off. I promise.
I'd say so.
Yeah. But safety, man, you got to. I mean, know what parts you got on your gun, in your gun, when you get ready to shoot the thing. And that's just a safety lesson for anybody that's going out to the range. Make sure you keep that gun in a safe direction at all times.
Yeah.
And hopefully nobody gets hurt when it comes to it.
Yeah. When we were at that carbine class, Bulwark's carbine class, that Falcor I've got, it's got that Geisley trigger, and it must be super light, because I mean, I've shot a lot before I went to the class, but I never realized how light that trigger was. When we were running that class, he'd call, go up and shoot. And so I would go up and shoot and take my shot, or he'd say, shoot two rounds or shoot 3 rounds. You know how it goes. Shoot 2, shoot 3, and then they'd have you shoot so many rounds around cover and stuff like that. I pulled up one time, and he said, take a shot. And I pulled up, and I let it reset. I'm used to holding the trigger back and then just taking out just enough reset.
Mm-hmm.
And I let it out. I took the round and let it out to reset, and it went off again. It was like boom, just that quick. I was like, I said, I didn't intend that second shot. And he said, I would never know it because it was so fast. I was like,
you were shooting a go fast trigger.
Yeah, that Falcor, that Geisley trigger is, it's light. I don't know what it is, but it's super light. It almost scared me. I didn't want to shoot it because I wanted to make sure my finger was off the trigger, completely. I wanted to let it all the way out. But, if you've ever had any rifle training classes, you hold that trigger back to call your shot. Then you just let it out just enough for it to reset so you can take that next shot. And it was so light, I didn't even feel it. I just barely let it out. And then the motion of the gun or the wind or a butterfly in Idaho or something, it just boom, boom. It was just that quick. I mean, I was still on target. Both shots hit the target, right together. But it's just a matter that just little things like that, you could end up, shooting when you didn't intend to. So always having it pointed in a safe direction or in the direction you want to fire is very important. And I know about clearing guns. The biggest lesson I ever learned, the thing that has probably kept me more safe than ever, is that I think I've told this a dozen times, but I had a new shotgun. I had a Mossberg 590, and I got it for Christmas or something. I think someone got it for me for Christmas, and Dad and Trevor were over at our house visiting, and they wanted to see it. So I went back to the bedroom and I cleared it. I pumped the shells out, looked down, there's 8 shells there. I'm like, okay, we're good to go. 8 shot 2, but there's still 1 in there. but I didn't see it. I saw the follower, and I did. Yeah, it wasn't a shell. It looked like the infall. The tube
Mm-hmm.
looked like there wasn't a shell in there, and I had the action open. There was no round in it. I had the action open. I looked at the tube. I didn't see anything. I didn't feel with my finger though, and so walked into the living room and handed it to Trevor, and he was looking at it, and he shucks it forward and closes the chamber. And I showed him that it was clear. And when we did, I just saw a shell fly in. I was like, whoa, 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 stop. He's like, what? I said, hold on a second. And I pulled it up and injected a shell out. I was like, I've checked that thing, I know, but there was 9 rounds. There was 1 in the chamber, and there was 8 in the tube on the 5.90s, and the 2 3/4. And I was like, man, I said, and cold chills just run all over you when you have something like that happen. I don't know if you've ever experienced it, but it's like, man, that was just so dangerous. And ever since then, I remember that every time I hand somebody a gun, I double, triple check and make sure that there's no rounds that are in that gun or in the magazine or in the tube or whatever. Feel it with your fingers. So, all right. Well, what has that got your safety for the night?
That's some of the safety features, man. Some of the safety stuff you need to watch out for. So,
Yep.
especially night hunt, man. You just never know. You never know what's out there.
The direction your gun's pointing at nighttime, you don't really realize what you're pointing at if you can't see it. I mean, if you got strong enough lights or whatever, but you really don't know what you're pointing at. So that safety circle is very important, especially when you're out with some other guys and stuff. And I would say, you guys might need to get some kind of IR tags or something when you're hunting. So if you go out to retrieve something and they see movement out in the bushes, they don't shoot you. That you have that little blinking IR beacon,
Yeah. Strap one of those fluorescent sticks to your head.
Something, just so that they say, "Oh, that's Doug, not a pig."
Yeah.
Not saying there's any resemblance. I'm just saying.
Hey, I'm walking upright. Come on. Unless I'm down on my
man.
hands and knees looking for blood or something, that would be bad.
You
But I'd have to be doing it under a feeder. Hey, but we did have some fun though. I let them shoot Puff 2.0.
Yeah.
In go fast mode, and
yeah,
it's just fun watching the smile it brings to people's faces.
Puffs bring joy wherever they go.
It does. So one of the guys had an old Mauser that not a Mauser, it was a Mosin.
Oh yeah,
he had that thing was fun. He let me shoot it a couple times. That thing is they got a little bit of a wallop to them, to be as heavy as they are. But
they're big old round too, man.
Yeah, it is. I like to put a go fast trigger in one of those.
As long as you work your bolt fast enough, I just think you hold the trigger back.
I guess. It'd be a devastating gun on pigs, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so I tell you, just a quick redneck ingenuity at its finest. One of the guys was hunting. He didn't have night vision, and I'm not even sure he had a flashlight of his own. But no, he did have a little headlamp. I take that back because he was sitting in camp with it. But so he was hunting with one of my buddy's shotgun that has one of the wicked lights on it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was hunting a feeder that was fairly close, so he was shooting double all buck off that shotgun. So he was going to take his AR out the next night after we got it sighted in at the range for him during the day. He was going to take it out, but he didn't have night vision. He didn't have a flashlight, and he didn't have a mounting bracket on it. So we took the wicked light off the shotgun, and we didn't want to put tape on his AR. So we took a Mountain Dew bottle and cut the bottom and the top off of it and split it, and then wrapped it around his handguard and taped it on there. And then we taped the wicked light to that. So he's running around with this thing, got duct tape all over it stuff, but it worked like a champ, man.
Hey, whatever works, man.
Yeah. Redneck ingenuity, man.
It'll get her done.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
All right. Well, you can help our show. You can buy some patches of stickers like the ones behind me and Doug.
Yeah.
That would help us out. And Oath Keepers has we're not getting any uh, kickback from Oath Keepers or anything. That we just both members, and we want to support them in their mission to try to get everyone ever swore to take an oath to defend the Constitution and uphold the Constitution. That they would still hold that oath, and that they would support our all of our Bill of Rights and the Constitution as well. So active or retired or whatever you want to consider yourself, if you've ever taken the oath, consider joining oathkeepers.org. They have a raffle for AR-15, or last I heard they did. I haven't heard the newest one, but I think that's still up, to raise funds for them to travel around, train people. They've been down in Texas a whole lot. They've been all over the country. They got some people in California and just been everywhere. So check those guys out at oathkeepers.org. Sub-MLA shooting, buddy Wally sent me a care package last week, and then we really appreciate that. He's offered a discount code for our listeners. It's God and Guns. It's GODANDGUNS, and you get 10% off. And if you're a reloader like myself, you can save yourself a little bit of money on them bullets. And Doug, you got the next one.
Hey, Crossbreed holsters, like Troy and I were talking about, he was carrying in the Super Tuck Deluxe. That's what I carry in. I got other buddy. One of my buddies that's on right now watching the show just got his Super Tuck, as we recommended from the show, and he loves it. And they work great. They're comfortable, and you can wear them all day and not even realize you got your gun on. And let's just face it, if you have a holster that is not comfortable, you are not going to carry all the time like you should. In today's times, you need to be carrying everywhere you go. So go check our buddies out at crossbreedholsters.com and use our promo code GNG and get a 10% discount when you check out, just for listening to the show. Also, Axelson Tactical. I had the Axelson out this weekend. That's what I dropped Brutus with. We nickname all the pigs, or my buddy Andy does. And this one was named Brutus because he was so big. But Brutus is no more thanks to the Axelson Tactical, and he got whacked. But if you want a high precision, tack driving rifle, or if you want a precision custom done Glock or other pistol, they also do knives. They got all kind of stuff out on their floor. Go check our buddies out at Axelson. It's axelsonusa.com. Use our promo code God and Guns over there and get 10% off for listening to us as well. Pay attention, sign up for their flyer also, because they got some good deals. Every once in a while, they'll throw a gun out there. They'll have 3 or 4 different ones, and they'll run them 50% off. Obviously, if it's 50% off, don't use the 10% for us, because you're not going to get it. Use the 50% that they got. But hey, send them an email and say, hey, I bought this because I listened to the God and Guns show and I heard them talking about you. Also, PowerTac lights. PowerTac changed up just a little bit. They got a little wiser. Memorial Day, they were running a pretty good sale. It was buy one M5 flashlight, get a second M5 flashlight for free. So it was $150 worth of flashlights for $70. And we had been able to use our promo code on sale items and promo items, but I guess they're not letting us double dip right now. So we still get a 40% discount on any of the lights that they have. Any of the stuff that's out there. Sale items, I don't know if it works on that right now or not. Our buddy Lane, I talked to Lane, and he is no longer working with PowerTac. He went back. Apparently, he was selling some kind of a camping stove or something, and had closed that business down. Went to work for PowerTac and was doing very well and stuff. And with the COVID and everything else, people staying home, he said a lot of people were hitting him up, wanting him to start the business back up, selling those stoves. Everybody wanted to buy stoves and stuff to take out with them. And so he decided to do that and help out. And that's what he is doing now. So if you're looking for a camping stove, I can get Lane's information and you can get hooked up. But anyway, PowerTac, one of my buddies just got his HL10 headlamp in today. I ordered an M5 light on the sale the other day, and I just got one. I didn't want two. I just got the one. But I got my 40% discount on it. So go check them out at powertac.com and use that promo code God and Guns and save that 40%. Anywhere you can save is a good deal. Also, Palmetto State Armory. Everybody is building ARs. Everybody's wanting to buy ammo. Everybody needs pieces. Everybody wants to buy this for their AR, or change out the upper, or put a new trigger in. Palmetto State Armory is the place to go check that stuff out. Use our affiliate link, and that will get you there. And if you buy something on their site, it helps us out. They give us a little bit of money back for everything that you guys buy out there on their site. And Troy and I sink it back into the show to help us keep doing what we do. So go check them out at Palmetto State Armory.
Deal. Armed Citizen of the Week. What we got going on with the Armed Citizen?
Hey, Armed Citizen comes from Elko, Nevada tonight. Operators received a 911 call on Tuesday, April 21st from a woman who was claiming she was being held at gunpoint. Sheriff deputies were dispatched to the scene after being informed that the woman was being held for possible trespassing. Upon arrival, deputies found a man and a woman being held at gunpoint by the property owner and a neighbor. According to the report, the couple were observed entering a travel trailer and several outbuildings on the property and ransacking them. Property owners arrived with a neighbor and held the couple at gunpoint, at which point the woman made the 911 call. After investigation, the man and woman were arrested on one count of burglary each, and it was found that the woman had an outstanding warrant as well. So, a couple good guys with a gun.
Yep. You need to know, the only caveat I want to say here, depending on your state's laws about trespassing, like in Kentucky, you can't use lethal force for somebody trespassing. Now, if they're breaking and entering, you can use lethal force. Or if they're trying to set your barn on fire or something like that, you can use lethal force. Outside of that, if they're messing with your car or if they're just walking across your property, you can't use lethal force. So make sure you know the laws in your state before you start drawing guns on people, even on your own property. That's a sad fact of it, if you're trespassing. But, sometimes people don't know that, they're just out walking in the woods or something and they end up walking on somebody's property. They don't know. But if you see people in the middle of the night breaking in and entering, of course, that's pretty well understood.
Exactly.
I had a guy that was, they were hunting on the farm without notice. They were over there supposedly coon hunting at 2:00 in the morning. And my parents, my mom was home, my dad was on a business trip, and she calls me at 2:00 in the morning. Come over, somebody's getting ready to break in the house or something. There's people down here in our yard. And went out there and drew a gun on this guy that was in his truck, sitting in my mom's driveway, and asked him what he's doing there. And he said, "Oh, he's hunting. He's going to call the police on me." I'm like, "Call him." That's like you're sitting out here in their driveway at 2:00 in the morning smoking cigarettes, and you think that you're going to have the right standing here. They go ahead and call him. Well, he's like, "Wow, you don't have to be like that." I'm like, "You don't need to be on trespass on people's property." He said, "We thought they was going on vacation. We thought they was going out of town." I'm like, "Does that give you the right to come over here if you think somebody's out of town?"
So you're going to burglarize the place too, what you're saying.
That's what it sounded like to me, but I just told him not to come back ever again, and I never saw him after that. All right, you got anything else to do?
Nope, all good.
Any other comments we need to address over here? There's a whole lot going on Facebook, on YouTube over there.
Yeah, that's most of my buddies that were hunting with us this weekend.
Oh, you just outed them. Y'all better put some fake profile names on there. All right, we're going to wrap this puppy up. You send your feedback to Troy at GuyGunsPodcast.com or
Doug at GuyGunsPodcast.com.
Please tell your friends about us. Leave us an iTunes review and like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/GuyGunsPodcast. Subscribe and follow us on YouTube. At YouTube, you can find us. Twitter, you can search and find us over on Twitter. I don't post anything over there anymore. I'm done with Twitter. I've moved on to Parler. I've got a Parler account. I'm doing Instagram. I got a MeWe account because I am fed up with them blocking everything and saying that it's not accurate and it's false, fake news and all that garbage. So I just got fed up with everything. I mean, they were taking down my posts and everything. They were taking down, Facebook took down 2 of my posts this week, just erased them. So I'm sick of this stuff. I mean, they're going to do more and more of it closer to the election, of course, but that's where we stand on that. I don't know about the website. You can let us know.
Trump going to shut down Twitter.
Shut them down. Well, y'all let them be sued for, putting false information out there.
Yeah.
If they're going to if they're going to claim that what someone says is a lie, then they need to back it up and be willing to take it to court. So, what's the status on the website? Still the same?
Yeah.
Okay. COVID. Okay. Till next time, Doug. Have a blessed week.
And keep your guns close, but keep your Bible closer.
Night, guys. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Boy, it's a short show tonight, and we will talk to you all later. I should be on in the morning with a prayer and fasting. I finish my fast up. I've got 2 hours to go before it's tomorrow.
I know, right?
I think I might make it. All right. We'll talk to you later, and sayonara.